Hey, what's up, YouTube? My name is Caden Sharp. I am a student at Full Sail University's online game design program. I just want to talk to you today about some like the enrollment process and some tips that kind of got me going that I can hopefully pass on to you guys or anyone that's considering going to Full Sail, preferably the online portion. I live in Oklahoma. Never been to Florida before, so it's strictly online for me. Pardon the mess behind me. I kind of live in sort of a library / guest room right now. But first and foremost, some of my expectations with Full Sail. I knew that they had a pretty good, outstanding program for game design and for a lot of multimedia stuff as well. A lot of my friends recommended Full Sail. I have a friend in particular who goes to Westwood online, and he said, you know what, if you want to get into this field of study, you should go to Full Sail instead. Don't go to Westwood. So I kind of took up his advice and made the phone call, and pretty much got the ball rolling. It was about a month or so that lasted the entire enrollment process. A lot of paperwork. Myself as a veteran, I had to get my DD-214s for my 2 deployments going and faxed over to them. Those were the main things, as well as fill out the Vaughn app, which is basically your approval process for utilizing your veterans funds and benefits such as the GI Bill. I chose to use the post 9/11 because I've got about 24 months of active duty time under my belt, and that was, to me, the most beneficial thing. One of the quick things I want to talk about and note about this is the online game design course. It's a Bachelor's of Science degree, and tuition runs you about $57,000. Now, that's a lot of money. With my GI Bill, my post 9/11 GI Bill, they cover 100% of that. That covers tuition. It also covers a basic housing allowance for me, so it's something along the lines of like $570. They pay you as an E5 on active duty with dependents. So that's huge. I mean, I'm being paid to go to school for free. So anyone that's in the military or that's out of the military as a veteran of any branch and you're considering going to Full Sail, I strongly suggest that you absolutely utilize your GI Bill benefits because that's huge. There was no way I could have paid that without that. So definitely take advantage of that. And I urge everyone that's a veteran, anyone that I know in my previous units, you know, if they're going to school, use those benefits. They're there for you. Okay, so veteran assistance was great. I talked to my enrollment guide, who was a veteran, so we kind of kicked it off right off the bat. He knew what I was wanting. I knew what he was wanting from me. And we were both very professional on that level, so we got everything taken care of very quickly. Anything that came up, he let me know as soon as possible that, hey, I need you to change this paperwork, or I need this copy of it, or whatever, and I got it to him as soon as I could. So they're very able to work with you. One of the other key things is for veterans, take note that the GI Bill benefits, it says on their website, take anywhere between 60 and 90 days to actually be in effect and start paying for your tuition. Full Sail is so cool in that they're basically willing to start my classes without that initial payment from my GI Bill. So they're saying like, hey, you're on good terms with us right now. We're going to go ahead and give you, your 3 months of schooling before we even expect your GI Bill to start kicking and paying. So that's extremely great. That's another cool thing. Some tips that I would have for you guys, veteran or not, is be patient with these people. They are busy, so they're not going to answer every single one of your phone calls. I know that I missed probably the majority of my phone calls just because I'm on sort of an opposite sleep pattern where I'm up most of the night and then I sleep during the morning and everything. So I missed a lot of phone calls, but you can let them know, hey, this is the kind of schedule I'm on or whatever, and they're more than happy to leave you some voicemails and stuff and give you contact numbers and email addresses to contact them back. So they were very, very professional in that manner too, so I'm stoked for that. Some of my expectations. Okay, so I know that Full Sail is a highly accredited university. They specialize in a lot of media publications such as movies, film, music production, game design, creative writing, stuff like that. So mostly just the creative works as a whole. They've got a pretty good reputation at putting out some good students for that. And a lot of people get hired out of that school, primarily because where they're located. That's kind of one reason, is because they're in Orlando, they're in Winter Park, and Orlando Studios is right there. So, if you're working in film or the movie industry or anything like that, that's a pretty good bet. If you're taking the actual campus courses, that's pretty useful. As far as online, I have no idea, but I'm pretty sure that it's, however much you put into it, that's what you're going to get out. So if you work hard and really bust your butt on putting out good quality content and building your portfolio and your resume, and you're looking for a job actively all the time, you will get hired. And that's regardless of a degree or not. That's just, common sense. So in our economy right now, obviously times are hard, and a lot of people are short of money, and jobs are pretty scarce. But I'm pretty confident that, when I do wrap up my degree at Full Sail, that I will get hired on, because I'm pretty dedicated and motivated to doing so. Okay, so let's cover some of the items that were shipped to me after enrolling. I received a MacBook Pro. It's a 15.4-inch with, I think, a 750 gigabyte hard drive. Not a solid state drive, just a regular, I think it's even a 5400 RPM. So it's not great. I looked at the website from Apple, and it's, I think, retailed at $2,199. So a pretty expensive piece of equipment. Not that amazing, but it's an Apple, so it is what it is, I guess. But it does come with a lot of the software that's needed to get started right away, such as GarageBand and there's iChat that you'll have to set up during orientation. I'll touch on orientation here in a second, but a lot of stock programs, and then they ship you the software also. So you get a lot of the Microsoft Office programs, such as Word, Excel, PowerPoint, things that you're going to be using in class. They're pretty much mandatory each activity that you do, that you're required to type up your script or type up whatever project you have first, run spell check before you submit it onto their online platform. So you get all that equipment shipped to you. I recently got my headset. It's a Logitech headset. I don't know where it is. It's probably back there somewhere in the stack of junk. But cheap little $20 headset, not a big deal, but it works. And that's about it. That's usually all you get when you get started, is the MacBook and your orientation paperwork and stuff like that. The very first class you have will be orientation. I think it's a week or two, something like that. And it's basically just like, here's your MacBook, here's how you set it up, here's some of the programs that we require you to use on it. You're required to create an Apple ID or an @me.com account. You subscribe to that. You must remain online most of the time. It's not mandatory that you're online, but it is mandatory that you at least contact your teacher at least once to verify that you've got your account set up and that you have them on your contact list. It's also helpful if you set up the iCal, or the Internet Calendar, or whatever it's called, and you can basically import all of the calendar data from the Full Sail online platform onto this program that sets up a reminder for you. So you can, anytime you open up your MacBook and boot up, you can have iCal alerts saying, hey, this project is due this day, or this is due this day, or you need to participate in the discussion board, whatever. So that's pretty helpful too. So orientation is basically how to get your MacBook set up in the way that they want you to do it, how to be organized, how to set up your documents and your folder hierarchy, and basically just being organized. And that's really key, because everything that you submit when you start doing your paperwork has to be done in an organized fashion. You name your files a specific way based on your name and the week of the project that's due, so on and so forth. So organization is key, and using the programs that they recommend you use are key also in being organized and successful, I guess, in school. So I'm just about ready to finish up my digital literacy class. It's basically the first class you start out with. The first week, let's see. The first week we discussed a lot of the main programs that we were using, like iCal and stuff like that. The second week we had a podcast we had to create. So we had to boot up iMovie. Sorry about that. So we had to boot up iMovie, and we had to take basically some stock music, or jingles as they're called in GarageBand, and apply that to the background track. And you basically had to pretty quickly, within 90 seconds to 3 minutes, describe who you are, what your goals are, what you're excited about at Full Sail, what you're looking forward to taking, what motivates you or inspires you, and any of the challenges you expect to face along the way. And you can find that video that I did on my YouTube account. I basically just did a cheap little, booted up Photoshop and made slides, and kind of just punctuated on things that I originally wrote up in my script. And that was pretty much it. I ended up getting a 98 on mine, which I'm pretty satisfied with, considering that I didn't even show my face in it. So, it is what it is. But let's see, the third week, which was last week, we had to do, trying to remember now. Oh yeah, we had to do a research project. So you were given a list of industry pioneers of various industries: filmmaking, music, game design, writers, directors, whoever. People that were pioneers in their industry that really changed the way the industry is nowadays because of them. You choose one person, you research them. You have to use the required search engines that are Scholar engines. They're certified through Full Sail, such as EBSCOhost and LexisNexis. You can feel free to Google those two all you want, but they're basically, you cannot use Google, you absolutely cannot use Wikipedia, you can't use Yahoo, you can't use anything else except for those two search engines. You have to find 2 articles that are relevant to those people into the topic of, like, what did they accomplish to get where they are today, basically. How are they so accredited, and how are they so successful? So you have to find those 2 topics, or those 2 articles, find the originals, which was really hard, because a lot of websites and news sites have an archive that only goes back so far. So the pioneer that I picked was pretty much really popular during the early 90s, when he created the game The Sims and SimCity. So it was difficult trying to find an article that was still relevant to this day and still original on that website. But managed to do it and knock it out. And so this week, in week 4, we're going over copyright laws. The differences between Creative Commons and fair use. You have to describe in your own words what they mean, and you have to basically do another podcast, sort of in a slide format, describing that and giving examples and stuff like that. So I'm in the process of working on that right now, over the next couple of days, and it'll be due in another week or so. But I'll tell you this: if you are unemployed or you have a lot of free time, there is absolutely no reason why you cannot complete these projects. Just in this class alone so far, I've been able to knock out the projects in probably 1 to 2 days, really just sitting down and knocking it out. So, but I understand if you're, taking other college courses, or if you work full-time and you've got kids and a family and all this other stuff, I understand that it's hard and difficult. Fortunately, I'm not in that position right now, and I can dedicate pretty much all of my time towards school and towards my hobbies or my own personal objectives or whatever. But it's definitely doable. It's feasible. Every student in my class so far has been able to put out good work, and they're probably in dire situations, or more dire situations than I'm in. So it's definitely possible. You just have to, again, give it 110%. Hopefully you're familiar with the MacBook. I was not. I'm actually anti-Mac. I've never been a Mac fan or an Apple fan in my life. So it's difficult getting used to, but there are plenty of guides that you can find online and through Full Sail, and they have a full staff full of student advisors that are willing to help you out. And there's a help desk and support number you can call at any time and get your questions answered. So don't let that stop you. But I'm going to try to keep this short and keep it to about 15 minutes. If you have any questions at all, feel free to comment. You can feel free to subscribe. I'm not really sure how many videos I'm going to put up on this account, depending on what all I'm doing. Yeah, that's it. I really just wanted to hit those keynotes and talk to you guys about my experience so far, and that I'm really excited and I'm really appreciative that I'm given the opportunity that I can do this. And again, if you're a veteran, use your benefits. by all means use your benefits. Yeah, that's it. So, thanks. Have a good one.